Hello, Internet! Shalthis here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. Today I'm bringing you another Shoutcast from the Hearthstone Beta, which is what I do. This time I'm once again featuring Matticus from WoW Insider. Of course, like I said, he sent me a lot of games, so I got a lot of games from him. A lot of games from Viper, too. But let's get right into this one. We'll just get started in it right now. It is Uther versus Jaina. Alright. So, Paladin versus Mage. Matticus playing the part of the Paladin versus medivhna playing the part of the Mage. Could just be medivhna. I guess that's entirely possible. But let's see how things will kick off here. This is apparently Matticus's Brewmaster deck. So you'll see a lot of Brewmaster options available to him as we kind of get further into the game to make things fun and interesting, which is what they are. So starting things off with Mirror Image. Kind of a annoying thing to start with, but hey, is what it is. Matticus will just reinforce. Things starting off a little bit slow. As we can see, Matticus did draw one of his Brewmaster cards. We'll probably see several of those. So we're going to see a 3-drop here, and it will be an Acolyte of Pain. So as it stands right now, yeah, he's just going to start taking out those mirror images. Really interesting timing to use those. I don't agree necessarily with using mirror image right off the start. I know it's a really inexpensive card and at least gets a couple of minions out there, but your early health isn't that big of a deal, I don't think. I would probably say that, like, maybe dropping that later in the game when there's a lot of minions out there and you're trying to deflect some heavy damage is probably a better option, just to get them out there. Maybe not late game so much, because then you're going to start getting into a lot of options like, you know, AoE and whatnot, but I still think that could be useful. So he's going to use that Brewmaster to return that Engineer to his hand, so he'll be able to cast it and get another card off of the draw. So not a bad move. Start things off. And he's going to start off with Polymorph, which will buff that Adventurer up to 3/3. And then use that Acolyte of Pain to take it out and get another card. This is a pretty smart play by the Mage player at this point. Knowing what to attack with, when to attack with it. Alright, Matticus is going to drop that Engineer again, get another card, Sun Fury Protector. Always nice when you need taunt minions and you just don't have any. And a quick silence from the Owl onto that Questing Adventurer to render it pretty much worthless. It certainly becomes less of a worthwhile card when it only has 2/2, but it at least got one shot off, so it has dealt 3 damage, so it got one buffed shot off. And now Sorcerer's Apprentice coming into play. That would probably be more of a target for Matticus than the Questing Adventurer at this point, just due to the benefit that it actually is going to give. Right now the Questing Adventurer is just a 2/2 minion that isn't really going to do too much. But a good use of Arcane Explosion, one last strike by the Acolyte of Pain to clear the field for his opponent, and a quick shot in to make things interesting. My cat is very interested in this game, so hopefully he'll have his own insight later. But anyway, deals that Hammer of Justice, or his Wrath, one of the two. It's a Hammer of something. One that draws a card. I know what I'm doing here, right? Clears the field down back to that lone Questing Adventurer. Not a crazed adventurer. It's just questing. It's not doing much else. So an Azure Drake hits the field. Here comes some Arcane Missiles for 4. So Matticus not looking too good at this point right now, but it's still very early. And we've got lots of cards available to Matticus. He's going to have to start playing something, though. Else he's going to start drawing cards that will just burn up in his hand. I'm pretty sure, actually, right now... Yeah, he does have... Looked like he had a full hand there. But alright, he's going to silence that Azure Drake, get rid of that spell power benefit. Still has a lot of options left, however. Does not need to end it here. No real good use of that card at the moment. Gonna use the Brewmaster to return that owl back to his hand. Get that nice and useful silence back. So that's a really good use of those Brewmasters, is to be able to just constantly get that silence as an option. Play the owl, play a Brewmaster, get it back, and so on and so forth. Because that owl's not that big of a deal when it's in play, but it's the actual putting it in play that makes things fun. Alright, so another Sorcerer's Apprentice hits the field. Let's see what spell options the Mage player has. Quick Blizzard will do enough damage to take one minion out, and more incoming damage for the hero. And down goes the Brewmaster. So Matticus now looking at a very, very challenging field ahead of him. This is not going to be easy, but he is going to use ability there. I think he says Consecrate still, which could clear the field. And yeah, it looks like that is what he's going to do, and there it goes. Consecrate drops. Minions are gone. Finally some damage being taken off of Jaina. And the tide has shifted ever so slightly. It hasn't turned quite yet, but it has shifted. I mean, clearing the field is a huge move and a huge benefit for Matticus, but he is still really suffering on health right now. And a Fireball will knock him down to the single digits. Fortunately, it was not buffed by any spell power. Paladin could come into play at this point. New card. I think that's what it's going to come down to, some big drops here. Possibly that Sun Fury Protector to have the taunt option. But I think a lot of it's also going to come down to really just keeping the spells off of him. Oh, and there's Pyroblast, and that will seal Matticus' fate. And an explosion of fire and debris. Unfortunately, it was just not enough. Some smart play options, but when you're dealing with a mage deck, there's just so many spells and nonsense that you have to try to contend with, and it makes life really, really hard to counter that. But very well played on both players' parts. Unfortunately, Matticus came up a little short in that way, but congratulations to medivhna, or medivhna, whatever it's pronounced, doesn't really matter. Congratulations to the mage player, but that's all for this episode of Shoutstone. I will be back tomorrow with more, as I always am, and I am every single day, so don't forget to subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the latest Shoutstone videos. And you can like this video, leave a comment, I always appreciate them. And make sure you follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are in the description below. Find them, follow me, it'd be great. Be a good time. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.